G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in over on the west side of the map, it is Imperial Age Enjoyer, and he's going to be enjoying a little bit of the Imperial Age, I imagine, because he is playing the Deli on the color blue today. His opponent who spawns on the opposite side of this map, it is of course 3DB. We've casted this player before. This is going to be the second game we're casting of his, and he is playing the China on the southeastern side of the map. I guess you could just call it the eastern side of the map, and opening up with his patented second scout's opening. So going for the first scout and then the second scout up towards the north. He does this in every single matchup, every single match, or map rather. And speaking of the map, we have got ourselves a lovely spawn here on French Pass. So plenty of gold in the middle, not so much stone in the middle, mainly the gold is what you're essentially after. So if you're after the gold, it's going to be important that you get out onto the map. Otherwise, you're going to have to look at alternative sources of gold, including these trade posts, which are absolutely lovely. For civilizations like the Deli, gold's not particularly important. You don't really need it. You know why? Because you do not have to pay for upgrades now. Obviously, Deli in the most recent patch has been nerfed significantly. So first and foremost, you're not going to be able to grab these sacred sites in the first age anymore. You're going to have to wait until the second age, and not only that, but just to even begin the research for it, you're going to have to wait until the second age. So I won't be surprised if we actually see players just not even going for a mosque in the first age. I mean, realistically, what's the point of going a mosque in the first age now? Is first age mosque dead? I kind of feel like it is, because like the only reason I was getting it before was sanctity, and if I can't get sanctity until the second age, then like what's the point in even doing it? Like, okay, sure, I can begin researching wheelbarrow and then getting a discount from it if I build a mill, but even then, like, it's just not worth it, because like, sure, I get the scholar for free, but there's nothing else that I really get out of it. So it totally makes sense to leave it. Imperial Age Enjoyer only going to be picking up one sheep at this point in time. Now, keep in mind, this sneaky dog over here, 3DB, actually doing what he does best. So this is like his patented move. Runs straight over to the enemy base and looks to grab up all the sheep he can. So far picking up, I think that was 6 sheep, so 6 sheep already. And looking to pick up some sheep towards the north of the map. His opponent, though, only finding 1 sheep, so almost getting starved out a little bit. You can see that the second sheep is here. He's actually had to go on to berries as well quite early in the game, but isn't this just absolutely toxic? I tell you what, if this happened to me in a game, look, even just losing my starting sheep like this, infuriating. And he's uncovered so much of the map already. Really nice to see from him. Dome of the Faith now going to be going down from Imperial Age Enjoyer. Obviously, someone who enjoys the Imperial Age. Going to need a lot of scholars, and that's why we've got that one coming for him. Scout going to be coming out. We'll ride on with 3DB and see exactly what he is up to. So no surprises. A lot of villagers out over on the mill. Now, he actually opts for only 7 on the mill and then brings them over to, brings the villagers over to the wood line. Most players that we do see go 8 villagers on the mill. It just sort of speeds the process up a little bit, but he is typically a player, only goes for 7 before keeping 5 over there, so we'll have to see exactly how he looks to play out. And now picking up the triple-double in the middle, so that's 9 sheep in total. I think 1 from his own base, 2 from his enemy's base, and then he's got the 2 sets of 3 as well, so very, very nice for him. Going to be gathering up plenty of these resources here, because he does have the double Imperial Official out nice and early here. Villagers slowly coming out. You can see we're hitting close to 4 minutes, and he's still not yet even close to clicking up. And keep in mind that even when he clicks up, he's going to need more villagers to be gathering up that food. So he will potentially idle if he looks to click up any second now, because he's only got those 7. And you do 7 times 12, you're getting pretty decent numbers there, up to 84, but you're still not going to have enough to drop that second village down, or villager down rather. So now you can see he's put 1 in queue, and finally he's going to be able to drop down that Imperial Academy. So that's the difference between the 7 and the 8. So the 8 you're going to get up a little bit faster. And when I say a little bit, I think it probably works out to be about 35 seconds faster when you are doing an 8 villager on food before moving over to wood. But obviously, as a result, you're also going to be getting up a lot faster when it comes to your wood income. So you can see he's already got 341 wood there. So once again, that's going to go 75 over towards his professional scouts, 150 towards his stable. So that leaves him 100 wood left for houses if he needs it. But realistically, he doesn't. He's only going to need 1 house at this point. So plenty of extra wood he's going to have there in the back. His opponent now reaching the feudal age. We'll take a look what they're doing. Going for a mosque immediately here. So looks like there's 2 villagers, 3 villagers that are going to be tapping away at that. So going to be getting that mosque up. You can see already some spears heading out towards the enemy base now. Scout up towards the north side. I don't think we've got, you know, I just realized you could go for wheelbarrow here, right? Which is what he's doing, but it's going to take so long to get professional scouts as the deli that, like, it's almost pointless going professional scouts as the deli because your enemy is going to steal your hunts by the time that you actually get professional scouts research. And speaking of scouts coming out, and look at this, this is very cheeky, this early age 1 or age 2 rather walling coming out from these spears, and I do like that on this map in particular. Very, very cheeky, but it's going to take some time before he's actually able to wall his opponent in. We'll look at 3DB, see how he's doing. No professional scouts in just yet. What has he spent all of his wood on? He's actually gone for an archery range here to deny this early wall, and I do like this. This is very on, you know, very what's the word? Flexible from him. So, you know, a lesser player in this situation would have said, I'm going to commit to my strategy. I'm going to go for my 7 scouts. Great. Well, then you get walled in. Here, he said, I'm actually not, I don't want to be walled in. And so he's looking to deny that. You can see the spears moving in here. He's probably going to have to pull out a few villagers if he wants to try and get through this 192. Actually, you know what? He's probably got these scouts that can do it. And he's going to look to try and close his enemy off here. So his enemy has tried to invest in a bit of a strategy here, and he is punishing it already. You can see those walls did come down here towards the south, but he's going to deny that. He's going to force them back. So a very nice use of that early game flexibility there from 3DB. Hasn't got that professional scouts out just yet, but I suspect we'll have it coming in any second. He'll probably be looking to drop down a stable as well. Maybe even do that beforehand and just look to secure those hunts. But we'll see how he plays it out as those 3 archers begin moving out across the map as well. And his opponent now going to be looking to transition over into a stable. So we've got the stable, we've got the barracks out. What text do we have going? We've got efficient production actually coming in before Sanctity. So that really tells you how much people are prioritizing Sanctity. Now, keep in mind, this player is quite high ranked, ranked 74 at the moment. So in the top 100 going up against 3DB, he's ranked 22. So definitely he would be the favorite heading into this match. But by the same token, you know, Imperial Age enjoyer. He enjoys a fair few Imperial Ages. I'll say that much about the guy. But yeah, we'll have to see exactly how he manages to do. Archers coming in, just looking to see what they can pick off. Nothing in particular. Have we got that stable coming up yet? Still no stable coming up just yet. Barracks going to be coming up instead. No professional scouts coming in. So very curious to see. In every single matchup I've watched 3D play, and I mentioned this in the last game that we watched from him, he actually goes for professional scouts every single game. So this is the first game I'm actually seeing him not go for it, and I wonder exactly why that is, or what's determined that in this game. It did look like he wanted to open in that direction, but obviously throughout the game that's changed a little bit out. Now 3 wolves all coming in at the same time, a single herdable sheep going to be down here. But it might just be that the map is so defensive, and that could be why. And, you know, he's going to be able to easily snag this. He's going to be able to snag this as well relatively safely. You see him going for that dynasty now as well, and looking to secure that pretty quickly with 4 villagers on that. And going to be getting up the hardened spears already. So looking to transition now into an archer spear comp. And I definitely think in the current patch, I definitely think this is the strongest composition. I love horsemen. I think they're a really great unit. They're very mobile. But at the same time, I mean, they've just been nerfed so badly. Spears have just been buffed. You have all the incentive. Like, already it was like a pretty decent composition. And now it just got so much worse. Like, horsemen in particular just do terribly against spears if there are even spears nearby. And now it's just got, you know, even worse. And we see 4 villagers actually moving towards the north here. So these horsemen, they were spotted out by the scout here. Now, does Imperial Age Enjoyer spot this? He doesn't. He doesn't spot this. So probably didn't see this scout here, but this scout is going to give him the full story. All the villagers heading up towards the north, and they're going to have a little bit of a race on their hands. 4 villagers going to be doing their best to try and get this in. You see them dropping down all the individual pillars and just trying their best. Looks like they're probably going to be able to get this wall up just in time. Does he manage to get the click off? Oh, it looks like oh my lord, they managed to get around just in time and secure that wall literally a second later, and I think all of these horsemen would have got through. All 4 of these villagers would have died. He's able to just sort of sit up here now. He can just leave 1 villager. You can even see he's going to drop down a gate here. But there are going to be spears on the way very shortly, heading up in this direction, and a super duper nice timing there from 3DB. down towards the south. I think we hear those scouts calling out. He's also putting up a nice little defensive wall himself here, just to prevent any attacks coming in from that direction. Obviously, his opponent has got those walls still sitting there, just yet to be built up at this stage. And now that palisade wall going to be looking to go down, so he's got to make sure that he keeps at least one villager up here, just to heal that up in the interim. But it does look like he's probably going to be able to push him back, and we do see the first Chokunu coming out at this point in time. So probably going to be looking to transition into more and more of them, as we do see, yes, 3 more coming out now. Do we have a blacksmith down? It doesn't look like it at this stage. Spear's going to be coming out. Archer's going to be meeting them. The first horseman going down and almost basically getting one shot there. The new spear, the extra damage. So they do an extra 4 damage now against the horsemen. So they are super potent against them. But now that all-important scout going to be coming out, he's going to be spotting out the stone mine, or the mining camp on the stone. So he's going to know, well, hold on a minute. He's probably thinking about dropping down that second town center. But keep in mind, he could also be looking to potentially age up and go compound of the defender. We have seen this beginning to rise up through the meta. This was a landmark that I initially called an F tier landmark. It was that, I guess it was considered that poor in the current meta, that it wasn't even used. And so we could potentially see that out. It does look sort of like he's probably thinking of going second TC, as well as going for a castle age timing. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Mill going to be coming up. More walls going to be coming out as well for him. So he's fully walled up down here towards the south. And looking to do a bit of damage down here, but you just see how fast those horsemen melt. It's an absolute joke, just how quickly they melt now. Don't make horsemen children. Not at the current patch, all right? Maybe the next patch, probably in the last patch, but not this patch. Please, not in this patch. They are not good. And we do actually see professional scouts coming out finally. So he does have that professional scouts. We see them running back with a single carcass on their back at 11 minutes. So this goes to show that, you know what, even if you want to open professional scouts late, go for it. You can do it. So that is what he's doing. That's what he's demonstrating. A decent-sized army here going to be coming out as well. There is a palisade gate up here as well. He has walled off down towards the south, and now we see both of those sacred sites looking to go the way of Imperial Age Enjoyer. So he's going to be getting not only that trickle of gold in, but he's going to be triggering that all-important sacred site victory that is going to be happening. I think it's still just, yeah, it's got 0 out of 2 because you can't count, and there's no important other information that you'd need to know about a sacred site victory. So we're going to see that change from 0 to 2. Up to 1 to 2, and then eventually, here it comes, 2 to 2. I like how it's just 1 out of 2 as well, and then it's 2 out of 2, and this bar doesn't change. This needs a lot of work. But, yes, 2 out of 2 is what you see. Current resources, you can see that Imperial Age Enjoyer is really stacking up a lot of resources at the moment. Huge military out right now from 3DB. He's going to be able to neutralize this pretty easily, I suspect, and probably even be able to push into his enemy's base. He will need to leave at least 1 unit here if he wants to begin neutralizing it, but we do see down towards the south that there is actually a little bit of a flank coming on here. Now, keep in mind, there are walls up, so at worst, you're going to force a villager idle, but could be an overchop here. Actually, that could be an overchop. You got to be so careful with these overchops here. But now moving towards the enemy base. Cavalry going to be coming in and trying to pick up some reinforcements. They're actually going to be doing a pretty decent job as we see archers coming out now, as well as those spears. But they're going to just so easily be picked apart here. Really unfortunate. And that spear is going to be able to neutralize that sacred site. At the same time, towards the enemy base, the walls continue to get sieged by the Chokurinu, and the archers doing a pretty decent job. And I guess at this stage, he's really only using the horsemen to draw APM. And speaking of drawing APM, we've now got some palisade walls drawn up in the middle. Managing to get those away. Now a decent push is actually coming into his opponent's base. Imperial Age Enjoyer has dropped down that outpost, but nowhere near going to be enough to be able to deal with this push that's coming in. We do have a castle age coming in right now. The House of Learning is going to be going up, so not the compound of the defender, but down towards his opponent's side. We do see this raid continuing to try and at least apply a little bit of pressure, but now really pushing in underneath this town center. Imperial Age Enjoyer is in a bit of a tough spot. There's no villagers in the town center just yet. We do see 8 villagers now getting inside there. He's got 4 villagers on the age up, and that is really not a quick age up at this point. Probably wants a few more on that, because if he gets up, he can just make men-at-arms, and he can pretty much just defeat this army very easily. He has got all of his upgrades. You can see at this stage is getting the final +1 upgrade, Bloomery. He's also getting the +1 upgrade for Steeled Arab. So as soon as he's up, he's probably going to be able to get these researchers in relatively quickly. He is up to 3 scholars at the moment. and a ram going to be coming in now for his opponent. So 3DB rather, not 3D Beer, going to be actually putting on the hurt right now. Now, this is something that I'm always scared to do as China. Playing Age 2, that is what really scares me. Behind this, okay, he does have, he's only got siege engineering, doesn't actually have steeled arrow, despite having such a significant Chokunu force here. So I guess he does have 13 archers out as well. That's quite significant. But the main thing is men-at-arms coming out right now is just going to destroy this. So if we can see, there's the first men-at-arms beginning to come out, and look at that, 5-5 already. Probably going to have, there's the +2 coming in. Where's the +2 coming in? It's got to be somewhere in here. +2's there. It's coming in after Force March. To be honest, I'd prefer Wedge Rivets at this point, just to get that extra armor in. But there's only 4 men-at-arms here at the moment, so he's going to have to be careful. Ideally, you want to hit up a mass of about 7 or 8, but you don't want to lose your town center. You lose your town center, you're going to be in the dire straits. Now those men-at-arms coming in, 5 men-at-arms looking to collide with the enemy, and we'll take a look from his perspective exactly what the HP of these units is. As I say HP, I'm immediately... Oh my lord, look at the damage coming through right there on that. That is ridiculous. Those men-at-arms are getting shredded by the Shokunu. That is ridiculous. So, I'm from Australia, and our pronunciation for the letter H is with an actual we say hers. We don't say ers. We don't say herbs. We say herbs. And in the same token, or by the same token, we also say HP. And so, there's weird exceptions in Australian English. Like, if you were to say owned blades, you would drop the H. You would say owned blades. You wouldn't say honed blades. I don't know. That's just the way it works. That's the way I've grown up. That's the way I speak. So I hope you guys understand exactly what I'm talking about here. But look how much damage is coming out here. I mean, he's doing his best to hold on at this point in time. First ram's gone down. Second ram's slowly going down. Villagers getting picked off here. Town center down to 200 HP. It does manage to go up, but he realizes his villagers are dying. Men-at-arms coming through here. They are getting absolutely shredded. Still no +2 at this point. This could have been a +2, almost. 38 seconds. He would have lost the town center anyway. 10 men-at-arms here. He's going to be able to clean this up. He did lose the town center, and he lost a shitload of villagers as well. He's down to 29 villagers at this point. We'll check in on his opponent. Opponent sitting on 46 villagers with 4 Imperial officials out. So the true number there sitting closer to 50. Essentially double the villager count. But have a look at this. Look at the men-at-arms and how much damage they're actually taking here from the Chokunu. It's absolutely ridiculous how much they put out. So it works out to be 3 damage a pop for these bad boys. Consider, okay, just consider this for a second. These guys have got 5 armor. That means that an archer in Age 2 with a +1 upgrade still does 1 damage to it. But the Chokunu, with its 5 damage and 3 burst attacks, actually does triple the damage, 3 damage. It's pretty impressive when you think about it, like just how strong the Chokunu is. That is damn awesome. Battering ram going to go down in his opponent's base. He's taken out the town center. He thinks he's done a lot of damage. He's killed a lot of villagers, and I've got to be honest with you, I think so as well. We can see at the moment the score for the Delhi player is significantly higher, but to be honest, I rate 3DB's position much greater. He's going to be clicking up to castle as well very shortly. You can see how heavily he's gathering up on this mining camp. He's got all of his upgrades that he needs. Doesn't have the +1. We'll take actually a look at the upgrades that he's got. So no wheelbarrow coming through just yet. No mining upgrade. No wood chopping upgrades. We'll look at the blacksmith. He's got 3 out of the 4 of the first ones. No bloomery in just yet. He's got a couple of scouts out, which are slowly bringing in the food towards his base. And you can see them dumping it down on the mill. He's aging up with a few villagers here. 19. Yeah, it's all right, I guess. For China, it's the equivalent of 38 for any other civ. Yeah, why not? We'll call it. We'll call that fair. But slowly gathering in this food. Still got an entire hunt down here to the south. So look, this is a pretty, it's a good technology. We'll say that much. Men-at-arms going to be charging in now full speed. So one of the things to note, even by having that +2 upgrade or the +2 armor upgrade, it really doesn't matter because his enemy is still going to be doing the exact same damage. So it actually makes a lot of sense to go that charge attack. But now 18 men-at-arms going to be coming out right now. That is huge. That is absolutely huge how many that is. But obviously, you know, the walls are here. He's going to need to try and get out a battering ram. We'll take a look and see whether he's got siege engineering. Doesn't have it. Doesn't even have it coming in at this point. But keep in mind, Chokunu are actually a pretty decent counter against the enemy units. He's actually got veterancy already coming through. So he's already got that one through. I'm assuming he's probably got +2 as well. Yeah, he's got +2 as well. He is not mucking around when it comes to the damage of these bad boys. So those men-at-arms are now going to be taking 2 damage a pop, which works out to actually be 6 damage in the burst. So that is a lot of damage. Got to be so careful of those units, the way they stack up their damage so freaking quick. So that is absolutely what I love to see. And really, you got to start asking the question, you know, these Chokunu are in a position, in my opinion, they don't look particularly overpowered so far from what we've seen. They look like they do well against the enemy compositions, but you got to remember, okay, these units are quite expensive. 20, 30, and 30. Compare that to an archer, which is 30, 50, so that's 80 resources. 20, 30, 30, that's 60, 80 resources. But obviously, there's gold involved here as well, and so the gold is obviously going to be a significantly more expensive thing than food or wood, because that is an important resource that you need to be spending on techs, on siege, all that sort of thing. So in my opinion, I think they're more expensive. Obviously, they make it's a little bit more difficult to macro for as well. Having those 3 resources, you've got to make sure your macro is perfect for 3 resources. Compare that to like an English, longbow push with spears, and it's literally, oh, I've got more food than I have wood, I'll make spears. Oh, I've got more wood than I've got food, I'll make longbows. You know, that's the difference. Whereas like with this, I think there's an element of skill into the macro, but the units seem to do quite well at the moment. They've obviously nerfed them and brought their HP in line with other archers, but they still do a huge amount of damage. Like, you're literally talking about 21 damage right there in the Castle Age. Obviously, they've got the veterancy upgrade, they've got the +2 upgrade, and that doesn't take into account armor that your enemy may have. So obviously, if you're playing against, like, let's take a look and see what units we've got out here. Hopefully, we've got something other than men-at-arms. It doesn't look like it. So the men-at-arms have now got up to 6 armor. So that essentially means that the Chokunu are doing 1 damage a pop. So they will do 3 burst attacks. So that's 3 damage there. But if they were up against, say, a spearman with 2 armor, they are doing 7 damage a pop minus the 2 armor. So 15 damage. That's a fair amount. Like, that is very significant. And you can imagine, like, pre-patch as well, before, like, the nerf, or the nerf, I guess you could call it, to the horsemen. They would have been doing ridiculous amounts of damage to them. But yeah, we'll talk more about that later as the game moves forward. This is a decent push, and I think we've got to ask the question at this point, you know, who's in a more favorable position? And I got to feel like it's China. 28 villages for Imperial Age Enjoyer. He's only just started getting villages out recently. He's got the Dome of the Faith here, which is slowly being healed up. You can see that it is still on fire. He's got a relic sitting inside the mosque at the moment. Just the one. Nothing else too fast. He's got more. Look at all of the scholars that he's got out on the map. He's got a huge amount of scholars out here. 3 scholars in the monastery at the moment, or in the mosque rather. But going to be sitting on these sacred sites for a while as well. So I got to start wondering, how close is he to a sacred site victory? I haven't really been paying attention. Obviously, the first one was neutralized. Second one, I'm not too sure how long that's been. Now we've got the death comp coming out for 3DB, and this is basically what I call the Chinese dream comp. I love this. So he's got spears on the front line with palace guards. I mean, basically he's just got every single unit that China makes. So it's just incredibly strong, the composition that they've got. The Chokunu together with the crossbow are going to be able to deal with basically any armored or non-armored unit. Spears are going to create a great front line. Your palace guards are going to be able to get on the back line as well. And then, of course, you've got the 300 HP Springalds as well. So it is really, like, this is the Chinese death army, in my opinion. I don't think anything can, like, really stop this. If you've played StarCraft and you know what the Protoss Deathball looks like, this is the brand new Age of Empires 4 Deathball. Like, this is 100% it. You just A-move with this bad boy towards your opponent's base, and you will completely crush them here. Obviously, when it comes to micro, it's important. You know, you want your crossbows to be attacking the armored units, etc., etc., and your Chokunu to be targeting the light units, all that good stuff. But by the same token, I mean, you can pretty much just A-move it in this situation, and I think that's exactly what we're going to have here as 3DB looks to push through these walls. Now, he's got the Springalds out on the back. The question is, what can his opponent do? This should be Mangonels. If this isn't Mangonels, I will eat my shoe. It is indeed Mangonels. Looking for a second one here. That is essentially what evens this up. If there is no Mangonels, there is no victory. If he doesn't get the Mangonels out, he does not win. So now we're going to be taking a look at his enemy's base. You see the second siege workshop going to be coming up towards the back. No Mangonel coming out just yet. A couple of crossbows with Chokunus moving off, and he is now really moving towards this base. As we spot the men-at-arms beginning to charge in from all sides, you can see them as they actually manage to loop around. A beautiful engage right here, but look at the wonderful micro and protection that he's done in the middle of the Springalds as they manage to try and find their way out. Mangonel's going to be coming down here from the south as well, looking to get its shots on. You got to ask the question here, has China overextended at this point? He's definitely head inside towards the base. Mangonel did not get a shot off. The Springalds were a little bit preemptive in it, and it looks like the Chinese player is going to be able to hold here. at this point, and I think the Delhi player is probably going to be going down. You see the men-at-arms here are trying their best to get through it, but the front line from the spears, as well as the palace guards, just make it too difficult for them to deal with. On the back line, we've just got the crossbows that have been recently buffed, going to be doing their best to just put out more damage. You see they're doing 23 damage there towards these men-at-arms, which have got 6 armor, so really 17 damage a pop here. They are essentially doing 10-shotting them. I think that's it. And he does tap out. Imperial Age Enjoyer doesn't get to enjoy the Imperial Age in this game. Fellas, if you've enjoyed this cast, make sure you go check out 3DB. I'm going to leave a link in the description to his Twitch channel. He speaks Russian, so go say good day. Go say Buya Sadelano over to my friend 3DB, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I hope you've enjoyed.